Okay, thank you everyone for watching this video or for coming for my remedial. Hi. Okay, for today, right, we are going to go through things to study for 1G2E end of year exam paper 2, right? For this very first question, we are going to look at this one that is already taken from topical revision, practice 1, question number 2. If you want more details for the other kind of questions, you can also scan the QR code to look at the full video for the whole paper itself. Right? But for this, I only go to this part of the question that I find that is a bit more harder and relevant. Right. First question, given that the numbers A and D are expressed as prime product factors in the following way. Now, first part question says that the area of a square is B. So the area of a square is letter B, and they ask you to find the length of the square. So in order to find the length from area, how do you find the length? Okay, from length, if I'm given a length, I square it to find the area. So if I want to work backwards, I need to take square root. So the length will be equals to square root of B itself, which is 2 squared times 3 to the power 4 times 5 to the power 6. Okay, now when we take square root, do you all know what happens to our power? When we take square root, what happens to the power? Anyone remember? Okay, if not, then I'll just say the answer. Okay, when we take square root, we need to divide by, power will divide by 2. Right? So when we take square root, the power divide by 2. If you take cube root, then the power will divide by 3. Right? But the base and everything stays the same. So it's still 2, 3, and 5. But now the power divide by 2. So 2 to the power of 1. 3 to the power of 4, the power divided by 2. 3 to the power of 2. Then this one will become 5 to the power of 3. Right? Now, normally we can write out the number, calculate the number, but the question here say leaving your answer in index notation. So index notation, they want the answer. This is the answer, but I don't need to write the 1 for the power 2. Okay, so this one will be the answer. So this one will be the length, how many cm. Is this part of the concept okay? Can you all okay? Then give me a thumbs up. You understand? From area to length, we take square root. Okay, it's the power that divide by 2. Okay, can. Next one, part B. Given that the volume of the cube is A, so you have a volume of a cuboid. You have one cuboid, right? The volume is A, right? So to find the length, before we find total surface area of the cube itself, we need to know what is the length of one side. So we need to find the length of one side. So what am I given? I'm given the volume, right? So the volume. To find from length, you want to go to volume, you cube it. But now you want undo volume to cube, then to the length, right? Undo the cube, you take cube root, right? So to find the length, you take the cube root of the volume. Cube root of the volume. So cube root 2a will be 2 cube, 5 to the power 9, 7 to the power 12. So just now we already say when we take square root, the power divide by 2. Right? When we take square root, the power divide by 2. Then what will happen if we take cube root? Remember? Okay, when we take cube root, if we take square root, power divide by 2, right? If we take cube root, then what will happen to our power? Anyone know the answer? The power will divide by 3. So in this case, we get 2, 5, and 7. But the power divide by 3. So this one becomes 2 to the power 1, 5 to the power 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, but we do not need to write the 1 over here. We keep this as this. In this case, the question 1 to find total surface area, leaving your answer in index notation. So I'm going to leave this as here. But this is only in terms of my length for one side. So if the length for one side, okay, the length of one side is 2 times 5 cubed times 4, 7 to the power of 4, right? How are we going to find the whole area? This is a square, right? So to find the area of one side, what do? You take this length over here, you square it. All right, so we're going to take this length over here. I'm going to square this. So I'll take 2 times 5 to the power of 3, 7 to the power of 4, the whole thing squared. Right? When we have the whole thing squared, then what do we need to do? Whole thing square all the powers here. When we square something, right, all the powers will multiply by 2. Okay, all the powers will multiply by 2. So this question, this one will be 2 square 5 to the power of 3 times 2, which is 6. 7 to the power of 4 times 2, which is 8. So this is the area of one side. But in a cube itself, how many sides of a cube are there? Do you all know how many sides of a cube are there? And you can type me the answer as well. Oh, only 4 sides, man. Still got front, back, top, bottom. Still got one more. Still got another 2 more. You have 4, right? 4 is the top, the bottom, then the front, the back. Still need one more pair, the left-hand side and the right-hand side. So total for a cube will have not 4, but how many? Amira, you know? 5. One more. Everything got 2, yes, from 6 sides, right? From left-hand side, right side, front and back, then top and bottom. So there are 6 sides in total. So what we're going to do, we're going to take area of this whole area here, multiply by 6. I take this whole area here, multiply by 6. So the total area will be, I'll take the whole sides here, 2 square times 5, 6 times 7, 8 times the number 6. Right? Of course, if you want, you can press the calculator and calculate out the answer. But the question here say, leave answer in index notation. Yes, it's okay, don't worry. At least you know that there are a few different sides. There are a few sides. So we do one by one, okay, slowly. Right? Then now 6 is not a prime factor. So what we need to do, we need to split the 6 into product of prime factor. Can you tell me what times what gives me 6? What are the
So this one, what paper?
First question, things to study for paper 2, the day that I gave out the paper. I was standing outside your classroom when you finish your exam. So Jared, got the paper ready? Can? Okay, can. So in this case, total area, 6-sided, we were saying just now, but we need to split 6 as a product with prime factor because the question say index notation. Can you tell me 6? What times what gives me 6? No response. Or you can type me the answer. Yes, 3 times 2, right? Thank you very much. So 3 times 2 gives me 6. My original one has 2 square. There's a 2 square, and then there's a 2. So now in total, it becomes 2 to power of how many? Originally 2 square, then I got times 6, right? I got another 2. So this one 2 to the power of 3. Right? Then I have a factor 3 on its own. So still times 3. 5 to the power of 6. No more 5 already. 7 to the power of 8. No more 8 already. So we change the 6 into the factors 3 times 2. Then we get the final answer in index form cm squared. Okay, but sometimes during exam, they may not set such a difficult question, but they can still ask you to find from the length, find the, from the volume, find the length, then after that, find the area, but it's just numbers. You use the calculator to calculate a number. Okay, so remember, a cube has how many sides? A cube has 6 sides. All right. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the next question. This question over here, Now, the last few sessions, we were talking about whether is it highest common factor or lowest common multiple, when to use what, right? So when we are not very sure, we need to double check and think through the process. During a lesson, kindergarten children were given square, circular, and rectangular blocks. Each type of block were given, okay, with no remainder. That means must be divided nicely among them. There are 30 of them that is circular, 45, and 105, which are rectangle. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to split this up, the number 30 divided by 2 prime factors, 15 divided by 3 to get 5. So 30 is split up into 2 times 3 times 5. Okay, can y'all do so similarly for 45? What do you get? 45 cannot divide by 2, so 45 must divide by, what's the next prime factor? I'll divide by 3 to get 15, divide by 3 to get 5, divide by 5 to get 1. So 45 is 3 to the power of how many? 3 to the power of 2, right? Times 5. Okay, then the next one, 105, need to divide by the prime factors. 9 can. Okay, but 9 is made up of 3 times 3, so we divide by 3 first, okay? So 105 divided by 3, you get 35. Divide by 3 again, is it? It cannot divide by 3 already. Divide by 5, okay. So then I get 7. So divide by 7, get 1. Okay, so prime factors are, what are the prime factors? Prime factors 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, so on and so forth. Can? All right, so 9 is not a prime factor. 9 is made up of 3 times 3. Okay? Right, then here 105 will be made up of 3 times 5 times 7. Right? Then my question is, I need to give out the same number of blocks to each child. So this number need to be divided, right, to the same number. What is the largest possible number? Am I going to use the highest common factor or the lowest common multiple? Is it the highest or is it the lowest? Question actually gave us a hint. This one is what? Largest possible number. Which one do you think I should use? I need to divide these cubes, these blocks into by something, right? So I need to find the largest possible number, so the highest common factor in this case, so that I can divide them evenly. So I find the HCF. Okay, highest common factor, choose factors that are common. Right? And then after that, what else must we choose? We choose factors highest power or lowest power. Anyone?
Lowest power.
Yes, thank you very much. We choose the one with the lowest power. So we choose all factors that are common only. 2 not common. So 2 don't have, right? Then 3 square and 3. So we choose the lowest power, that will be the number 3. Then which other is common? Number 5 will be common, right? So this one will be 15. So each of them will be divided by 15, right? So there must be 15 children in maximum. So there'll be 30 circle, you divide by 15 children, 45 divide by 15 children, 105 divide by 15 children. Okay, so you find the highest number of children that you can have. So that's the highest common factor. Right? But that's one type. Another type of question, I have 3 cylindrical cans, A, B, and C. Then they all stack up differently, right? They have different heights. Some are 8 cm, some are 10 cm, some are 15 cm. So what can we need to do? Firstly, express all these as a product of its prime factors. Divide by 2. The smallest one always start with 2, so 2 to the power of 3. Then next one, 10, divide by 2, give you 5. So it's 2 times 5, and then 15 divided by, cannot divide by 2, divide by 3 gives you 5, divide by 5 gives you 1. So this is 3 times 5. Right? Then my question is they need to be stacked up higher and higher, right? If they stacked up higher and higher, this number, is it going the height, the total height of the whole, all the cans that are being stacked up? Is it going to be a large or small number? It'll be quite a big number, right? In fact, it'll be, if one of them is 8 cm, you stack up, right? It'll be bigger than 8 already. Similarly, it'll be larger than 10, larger than 15. So in this case, can I consider using highest common factor? And you look at the numbers here, there is no highest common factor at all. So the only best way that we can do is to find the lowest common multiple. What is the common height that all of them can be at? So I find the LCM. Maybe I can ask people to help me. Okay, find LCM. I have to choose all factors. And then what kind of power? Maybe
Highest power. Highest power.
highest power. Yes, thank you, Jared. So you choose the highest power. Right? So to choose the highest power, choose all the factors first. So I need a 2, need a 3, and need a 5. But 2 cube and 2, so I choose the one with 2 cube. 3 on its own, 5 on its own. But then they want the height, right? So we need to calculate out the number. 2 to the power of 3. Not 6, 2 times 2 times 2. Use the calculator and help yourself. Okay, times 3 times 5. So this total height will be 120 cm. Okay, have you gotten the concept? In exam, it's very important. At least you do this. Right, already got 1 mark. So even if you don't know how to do question, you can still do the prime factors first. You can get some of the method marks in your question. Then you guess whether you think is it highest common factor or lowest common multiple, which one is more reasonable, more logical. Okay? So usually if I need to divide something, cut them out or divide them or split them up into different groups, right? Then they want to find how many groups that can be split up into, that can be divided. That will usually be the highest common factor, right? If I'm finding the next timing that they will meet or the height that they will be common, that they will see together, what is the number that minimum number of packets I need to buy for everybody, whichever, right? So a common number, then that will usually be the lowest common multiple. Okay, so with that, I come to the finish the first page. Let me continue to a second page. Second page, this part of our video, I'll be doing a graph question. So since we are splitting up our video into 2 parts, so I'll do a graph question. Can y'all get ready with a graph paper? Right, let me know when you have your graph paper, everything ready. Give me a thumbs up, then I'll continue. Okay, in the meantime, I'll just try to copy some of the numbers here over to the other side. Okay, I have my graph paper. This graph is done by Miss Yu went through in class, and all of you supposed to do as homework in class, but I don't know whether you're going to do or not. Right? You all have your graph paper with you already? No, you're still going to take graph paper. No response. Hello. Okay, one person got graph paper. The rest, Tion, Ian, do you have graph paper? Nicholas, or Nicholas just came in only? Raiden and Rian, do you have graph paper? Okay, Ian got graph paper already. Derek. Arian, you got your graph paper already?
Have.
Have
I left
okay.
in school.
Left in school, then how? I send you the soft copy, you want not? Do on iPad. You want? I send to my phone. I send to my phone, then I send to chat group. And I cannot, don't know how to do graph. Graph got many marks, you know. Let me share to our class chat. All right, see whether you can open it to your class chat or you want I put in Google Classroom. How? No response. Arian,
Yeah.
do you need me to put this in Google Classroom?
No need.
Through phone, can. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to continue start with this question. Okay, now question over here. You all have the hard copy, right? So you all can see the question. I don't have the hard copy, so I'll keep switching around, or maybe you all can tell me, okay? First part of the question says, oops, I exited my own Zoom. Okay, first part of the question here says, copy the whole question down on the graph paper. In exam, your graph paper will be printed on it. So you draw in the black and white grids, okay? And then copy and complete the following table. So I need this following table here. I already draw my table for the values. Okay, so how do I find the values inside the table here? You have your equation, right? Your equation over here says it is y equals to negative 2x plus 1. So it's negative 2 times something plus 1. So I'll put in the numbers. The first one, when x equals to negative 3, I'll key this into my calculator. Minus 2 bracket negative 3 plus 1. It looks something. Oops. Okay, cannot see here. Let me see. Hey, wait, give me a minute. All right, see, it looks something like that. Are you able to see the screen? Where's my screen?
Yes, we can see, teacher.
Yes. Okay, y'all see on the screen, it looks something like that. So you key this exactly into your screen and press equal sign. You get a number 7. Then you go back here and you change your brackets or whichever, right? Then you move the next number to calculate. I don't want the negative 3. The next number will be 0. So when x equals to 0, you can press 0. You can calculate your answer over here. It will look like something like that. And that will be 1. Okay. And then last but not least, the last number, I'll change it to 3. So positive 3. So I'll go back to my calculator and change this bracket number into 3. So look, something like that. Okay. Then press equal to get the number negative 5. Okay. Are all of you okay with finding the, what do you call that? The table, the values in the table? Can I? Can that? Okay, very good. Can that? I continue with yeah. Now the next part is I need to draw the graph horizontal axis 2 cm to represent 1 unit. Horizontal axis 2 cm to represent 1 unit. What does that mean? It means every 2 cm I skip by 1 unit. 0, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Okay, vertical axis 1 cm to 2 unit. Every 1 cm, I jump by 2 units. 0, 2, 4, 6, so on and so forth. Right? So horizontal is 2 cm to 1 unit. Let's calculate, count the number. Horizontal, 2 cm is usually always 10 square. So for me, I'll just count 10 square because I'm enlarging it. I can't use the ruler to measure already, right? But I'll count 10 squares. So 10 small squares, this one here. If let's say my number starts from negative 3, if let's say this is negative 3, this will be negative 2, this one negative 1, this will be 0, 1, 2, 3. You notice I got a lot of space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a lot of squares at the side, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shift this. I'm going to shift a little bit. I'm going to share the squares. 1, 2, maybe I'll start negative 3 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 squares. Okay, I'll start negative 3 from here. Okay, negative 3. Negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, got enough space already, right? So now I counted enough space, but where is my 0? My 0 is down here, right? This is my 0. When I count 0 horizontally on my x-axis, but I'm going to draw my vertical y-axis instead. So I counted the 0, I shifted it to the middle somewhere, and then now I'm going to draw 0, the vertical axis, right? Okay, let me just draw this. Okay, Then this one will be my y-axis. So I count the x where it's a 0, but I draw the vertical y-axis, right? So this one is my y-axis, label it y. Okay, then now next they say 1 cm to represent 2 units. 1 cm represent 2 units. I need the number 7. Okay, but 7 is not a even number, not 2 units, right? So probably I need to draw. Yes, for graph paper we use pencil. Okay, but for me I use pencil will be too light, so I use the black one to show you all, okay? Right, then for the number 7, the next one, the y value is the number 7. So 7 is a little bit, is in the middle, right? It's not exactly to even numbers because they say 1 cm to 2 units, right? So probably it will be 0, 2, 4, 6. So if I stop at 6, right, it's not equal. So 0, 2, 4, 6, I need to draw until 8. All right, so I need to draw until 8. And the bottom at the bottom, I need negative. So 0, -2, -4, -6. So I need a total of 4 plus 5, maybe about 9 units or 10 units. And for 1 cm is one small 5 square. So I need 9 units, top and bottom. So for me, this one no need to count. I can see that I have a lot of additional space. So I should draw a little bit in the center. Okay, make sure I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And where's my pencil? 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 until here, right? Then make sure I got -2, -4, -6 below. So it's actually a very small graph. No need to draw until so big, okay? So I just cut somewhere in the middle. Make sure I got enough space will do. Then this one over here. This one will be my y-axis, x-axis. Okay, so this is the x. So now I'm going to transfer back. Just now this 0. Now here, this one is 1. This is 2. This is 3. And this one will be -1, -2, -3. Then this 0. Vertical axis 1 cm 2 units. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Oops. Then the bottom, -2, -4, -6. Okay. When you are ready with your graph and you draw the axis ready, please let me know. Then I'll continue. In the meantime, I try to write this nicer and prettier. Those who are done, give me a thumbs up. If not, I keep on waiting, also not good, right? Still drawing, you're still drawing.
It is very hard. When you stare too long, it will make you very confused.
Yes, the squares, right? That's why I prefer green graph paper, but cannot green colored paper for your exam. Count, slowly. Okay, I leave it here a little bit longer and count slowly. Those who are done plotting, drawing the axis and x and y axis ready, we can plot our graph on our, plot our points on our graph slowly, right? How about the rest? Where are you at? Have you finished drawing the axis? Okay, Ken, Redon, done, Jared, done. Kione, Nicholas, okay. How about Ian? Ian, Derek, Ariane? Okay, Anna, okay. Then I'll continue. Right, next part, the table here says, the first point is what? -3, 7, right? So this is block 3, level 7. Block 3, level 7. Let's go to a block -3, level 7. Go up. But there's no level 7. Where's level 7? This is 6, this is 8. Level 7 is in the middle. So 7 will be here, right? So block 3, level 7 will be somewhere here. Okay, I use pencil, mark across. Next one, what is the next point? This one will be 0, 1. X first, then Y. X first and Y. So this is 0, 1. So block 0, but go up 1 level. Block 0, but go up 1 level. So it's down here. Okay, the height is one level. Then next one, block 3, basement, -5, right? So block 3, basement 5, block 3, basement, block 3, basement, level 2, basement 4, basement 5 in the middle, right? So this one will be -5. So this one will be in the middle. Okay, so after you plot your points, we draw one line across. Is this okay? Then label your equation y equals to -2x plus 1. So this one will be y equals to -2x plus 1. Answer. Okay, with that, we completed the first part. We draw graph already. Did y'all manage to get your graph? Right? Okay, if you have drawn your graph and plotted the points, yeah, okay, very good. All right, okay, good. Then let's continue a little bit. How about Ian? Ian, you okay? You managed to draw graph or you got graph paper or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Have okay, try. If you need more time, you let me know. I can slow down a little bit, okay? All right, next question, next part now. Okay, now I need to switch back to my question. I got no question paper. What did my question paper say? The question paper now say, find the point at which the graph cut the x-axis. Here a few things. They do not want just the x-intercept. They want the point, okay? So it wants a pair of coordinates. Now, when it cuts the x-axis, you need to know immediately, cut the x-axis, the y value is equal to 0. When you cut the x-axis, the y value equals 0. So for this coordinate, the point y must be equal to 0. Let's see where's the point where you cut the x-axis. Right, let me go back to my graph. Where did he cut my x-axis? So my x-axis, this one is my x-axis, right? So where did he cut my x-axis? Oh, in the middle here. All right, this one here. Okay, what is this value? We have to count a little bit. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10 squares represent 1 unit. So one small square will be 0.1 unit. You divide by 10, right? Divide by 10, you get 0.1 unit. So this one, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, right? So the x value is 0.5 of a unit. So in this case, let me go back to here to write my answers. My x-intercept, they want the point, right? So the x value will be 0.5. The y value, remember, cut the x-axis, y value is 0. Okay, so in this case, my coordinates over here, this point, 0.5, 0. Answer. Okay, they want the point. If they want just the x-intercept, then the number will just be 0.5. Right? If they want just the x-intercept, the number will be just 0.5. But since they want a point, so you need the coordinates. So please read the question very carefully, okay? Next question, they say find the y-intercept. So y-intercept means it cut the y-axis. When it cut the y-axis, x is equal to 0. But read the question carefully. Did they ask us for the coordinates? They never ask us for the coordinates, right? So they just want the y-intercept. So they only want that y value. So then I go back to my graph to see when it cut the y-axis, y equals to what number? What is that number? You all have your graph? Maybe you can read for me. When you cut the y-axis, this is my y-axis, right? The y-axis is the vertical line. Where did it cut the y-axis?
1.
Yes, correct. Here, this number is 1. So, but they didn't want coordinates. So they only want the y-intercept value. So in this case, my y-intercept value, the number is just y equals to the number 1. That will be the answer. Okay, so you notice the difference between part C and part D. One, they say coordinates, the point. The other one, they just say the intercept, right? So if they want x-intercept, the answer will be 0.5. But if they want points of the x-intercept, that will be 0.5, 0. If they want the y-intercept, the answer will be 1. If they want the points or the coordinate, then that number will be 0, 1. Okay? Next one, find the value of x when y equals to -2. Y equals to -2. I need to go back to my graph to draw y equals to -2. Look for y equals to -2 on my graph. Y value is my vertical axis, -2. Where is y equals to -2? Y equals to -2 is here, right? So I use my ruler to draw y equals to -2 dotted lines. Touch your graph, turn, right, and read the number. What number is this? Anyone knows the answer? What's this number? Huh? Don't know. This one 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, right? So my value when y equals to -2, the value is just for x value is just -1.5. So I go back to my question over here and write answer x equals to 1.5. They just want the value, right? So therefore, x equals to 1.5 answer. Okay. Now the next two part, this one is important, will be tested. Don't say I never tell you. Okay, start. For those who are hardworking enough to watch my video and attend my remedial, I hope you all can ace this question. Okay, draw the lines x equals to -2. Now recall there are a few different types of line. When it's x equals to -2, it means it's a vertical straight line, right? And it cuts the x-axis. So it only cuts the x-axis. So you cut this x-axis at the number -2. X equals to -2. So you cut the x equals to -2 vertical line. Okay? That is for x equals to something. When it's y equals to something, what happens? Y equals something is horizontal. It will only cut the y-axis at the number -1. Okay, so one is vertical, x equals to -2, cut only the x-axis. X equals to -2. So let's go back to our graph. I'm going to use blue ink pen to show you the difference. X equals to -2, cut the x-axis only -2. X-axis, this is the x-axis. So -2 here. Okay, cut the, oops, so it cut at the point. So draw this line, x equals to -2. Do draw a little bit longer so that it cuts the diagram itself. So this one will be the line x equals to -2, right? Then there's one more just now. What is the other value? Y equals to what number? Is it y equals to -1? So that I need to change. Can you tell me, is it y equals to -1? What's the one they want? Yeah, y equals to -1, right? This one over here. So am I only talking to myself? I hope not, no? Y equals to -1. So now I'm going to draw y equals to -1. Oh my God, where is y equals to -1? Y, it cut the y-axis, so it's horizontal. Y equals to -1. This is -2. -1 will be down here. All right. Okay, let me draw. Oops. There's some thickness in my ruler. Okay. Y equals to -1 down here. So this line will be y equals to -1. Are you okay with these two lines? Okay, if you are okay with these two lines, I need to speed up a little bit already. We need to find, next one, find the area of the triangle bounded by the lines y equals to negative. Okay, wait, let me go back to my question again. Bounded by which line? Bounded by the 3 lines. Yes, the 3 of them, right? So I need the area, the triangle that's formed with this area. So it will be this one, this line, and this line. Okay, so I need to find the area of this whole triangle over here. Okay, how do I find the area of my triangle? Area of triangle half times base times height. But first, let us find out what is this length from here all the way to here. right? When it's at -1, this one is from -2 to 1. We don't count squares, we count the number of units. So -2 to 0 is 2 units. 2 units plus 1 unit. Total, the length here will be 3 units. All right? Then my height of my triangle is from this to this. This is right in the middle. Oh, what is this number? This number will be 5 unit, right? And then from 5 to 0, here is 5 unit. This one, what is this number? Oh, this is -1, right? Y equals to -1. So there's one more unit. So 5 unit plus 1 unit, total is 6 units. So my vertical height will be 6 units. Right? So if I know 3 and 6 units, how do we find area of triangle? Anyone? Area of triangle, what's the formula for area of triangle? What's the formula for area of triangle? Or you can type me the answer. No, nobody tell me. Yes, thank you very much. Half times base times height. Y area, no, Y. Area equals to half times base times height. You all had a graph with you. What's the base? How many units was the base? I've forgotten already. I know the height. The height was 6, right? What's the base? Hello? 3 units. Thank you very much. Half times 6 times 3. Okay, then we get the answer 9 units square. Thank you. Kind so never ignore me. All right, with that, I come to the end of this part of the graph question. These few questions that I went through are very important. Sure test one, so you all must learn, okay? Next one, if you're done with the graph, okay, we go through one more page, then we take a quick break of 2 minutes, okay? Quick break. Right, next part of the question. This one has to do with our polygons, right? Must recall a little bit of our formula. To find the total sum of the angle, you need a sum of angles. Anyone remember what's the formula? You need something with n. And what do you do to n? This one is tested for your WA3. Yes, -2 times 180. That's the sum of the angles, right? But they say it's a regular polygon, regular. Right? So when they say regular, then you can take this whole thing, divide by the number of sides that is, which is 10. So calculate the size. Yes, all sides are the same. Thank you, Ariane. Very good. Okay, so find the size of each interior angle of a 10 polygon. So all the interior angle here, the 10-sided polygon, all these are equal. So first, let's find n is the 10-sided. They want 10-sided, right? N equals to 10. So I plug it into this formula, 10 minus 2 times 180. But since I want to find one angle, so I divide by 10. How much you get? I get 144, is it correct? So yes, thank you. So all these are 144, 144, 144. Okay. Right? Find the size of each interior angle of the n-sided regular polygon. So I need the n-sided regular polygon, which is this one. I don't know what is the n-sided regular polygon. But then they tell me that there's something over here. Okay, this one over here, this one is a 3-sided. Anyone know what is another name for 3-sided regular polygon?
Equilateral.
Yes, wonderful. Equilateral triangle. So equilateral triangle, right? Triangle is 180. 3 sides are the same. What angle is this?
60.
Yes, very good. This is 60 degree. So now we know that this portion over here is one full 360, right? So angles at the point is 360. I got this angle is 60 degree. I got this one 144. How do I find the blue one?
360 minus 60 minus 144 equals to 156.
Thank you. So interior angle will be equals to 360 minus 144 minus the 60. What do you say it is again? 156, huh? Thank you very much. 156 degree. Okay, so now I know the regular blue color one is 156 degree. They asked me the next one to calculate the value of n. N meaning what? The number of sides, right? Remember your shortcut, the method. If I know the interior angle is 156, what should I find next? If I know the interior angle is 156, then means the exterior angle will be how much? Remember?
14.
Yes.
24, 24, 24.
How you
24.
get 24? How you get
180
180
minus
156.
156.
Correct. 180 minus 156. So is it 18 or 24?
Oh, 24.
24.
24. Okay, will be 24 degrees. All right. So this one will be 24 degrees. Then I want to calculate the number of sides, right? The exterior angle, total exterior angle add up to one full circle. How much degree is that?
360.
360. So I take 360. One of the angle is 24 degrees. So I take 360 divided by 24. 360 can be divided by 24 now. Oh, 15. So that will be 15 sides. Is this okay? Can I? All right, if you are okay, then I give you a 2 minutes quick break. Is that okay? Because the next one, I'm going to start with all the different, okay, I'll skip some of the questions over here. I'll do question 4. Then I want to go on to start with all the solids and whichever already. So I'll give you 2 minutes break. Okay, 2 minutes, come back on time, 2 minutes. Right, I'll pause my recording over here. Okay, 2 minutes is almost up. Please come back to station, come back to workstation. The next few questions, I'm going through question number 4. On the next page, please get ready. Okay, are you all back? Oops, okay, I myself got logged out. Okay, are y'all back from your break? Those who are back already can give me a signal. Okay, can. One person, two. Only one person. Oh no, the rest. What happened to the rest? Okay, are the rest back? Okay, yes, all are back. Okay, come, let's continue. Uh-oh. I'm so sorry. I forgot to resume the recording in between. Okay, okay, never mind. Nothing I can do. I should continue with question number 6. Sorry that they missed it if they never attend my remedial. Okay, question number 6, I'll move on a little bit to find the volume of the laminate that's being made. Okay, I'll try to record the other 2 questions that I missed out a bit later when everyone ends. Okay, a class of students is selling laminate at a mini carnival. They made a laminate with this container. So what is the amount of laminate made? Right, laminate in a container, this is in a cylinder, right? So for part A, volume of cylinder, you need the base area times the height itself. So what's the base area? This will be my base area, will be the shape of a circle. So base area will be pi r squared times the whole height, which is 80. Right? So pi, they gave me the radius is 15 and the height is just 80. So we plug in our numbers, pi times 15 squared times 80. And that gives me 56548.67. Right? So rounded it off to 3 single figure. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to read my question carefully. The question here says, give your answer in terms of pi. That means I cannot calculate my answer at total. I need to calculate everything else except the pi. I'll leave it in terms of pi. So 15 squared times 80, that gives me a number 180,000 pi. So I'm going to leave the pi down there. Okay, so I'm going to leave the apple pie down there. Right? So this one will be the volume for the laminate made. Next one, they say plastic of 1 cup, volume of 1 plastic cup. The plastic cup is still a cylinder, but it's slightly a little bit smaller. So the volume for this plastic cup will be pi r squared, which is 2.5 squared, times the height will be 8 cm. Again, they want to leave the answer in terms of pi. So I'll calculate these and leave it in terms and leave the pi alone. So 2.5 squared times 8 to give me 50 with a pi. Okay, so down here I have this. So volume of laminate that's being made and the volume of 1 plastic cup. Find the number of plastic cups that can be filled up fully, fully. We cannot have those that are half, right? So we need to fill up fully. So how to find the number of cups? Right, I take the total volume that I have, 180,000 pi, divide by 50 pi. Okay, most of you will write it this way. For me, I don't write this way because there's a pi, there's a chance that I can cancel out certain things. So I'll just divide by pi this way. Then I can cancel out the pi. This one is pi, this is pi, cancel away. So I'm left with 18,000 divided by 50 to give me the number 360 cups that are fully filled. Okay, if the question is, for example, 359.8 cups, how many cups will you fill in as the answer? How many cups can be fully filled? I'm going to round it up to 360 or it should stay at 359. Yes, it should stay at 359. Thank you, Keon. Because the 0.8 cup is not totally filled. Okay, so you must read your questions. Don't always round up accordingly. Okay, read according to your question. All right, with that, then I come to the end of this part of my remedial. I exceeded by 11 minutes. Right, I'll see you the second session at 7:30. Right, thank you for coming for my remedial. I'll send out the answers for this one a bit later. Bye-bye.
So then for the part that you never record, right?
Yeah, I'm going to record now so that I can send it to other people.
Oh, okay, can.
Yes,
Bye-bye. See you
bye-bye.
later.
Yes. So
Bye-bye.
you'll go off first. Bye-bye.
Aja.
Bye. Bye, Derek. Bye, man. Derek.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, for students who are here, listening to my video, but then I missed out because I realized that I haven't pressed the recording button just now after my break. So let me go through some of the questions that you need to learn as well. Okay. Okay, starting from question number 5, what do we have here? Right, question number 5, this one shows a metal rod with diameter 4.2 cm. If the diameter is 4.2 cm, then first thing we need to check, what is the radius? The radius here will be 2.1 cm. Why is that useful? Because a lot of the times, many formulas have radius also, right? They tell me that given the volume of the rod is 225 cm cubed, so volume of the whole rod in a cylinder, right? So volume of cylinder is given by base area times the height itself, or the length. So the base area is the shape of a circle. So if the base area is in the shape of a circle will be pi r squared times the height itself. In this case, the height here is given to be L. Okay, so what do we know? We know that the volume is already 225. We're going to plug it inside. 225 equals to pi times my radius. What's my radius? 2.1 over here. So 2.1 square times my L that I need to know. Okay, so how do I find my L? I need to undo it. I take 225, divide by pi, divide by 2.1 square. Okay, but to write it in a neater manner, we will write as 225 over the whole of pi and 2.1 square. Right, so 225 divided by pi times 2.1 square. And I get my answer for L to be 16.2403, rounded off to 3 sig 16.2 cm. Okay, now let me update my information into my diagram. So this is 16.2403. Notice I used the more accurate 5 sig answer for my calculation. So 5 sig for calculation. Now find the total surface area of the rod. Take pi to be 3.142. To find the total surface area, I need to know that, oh, my total surface area have a top and a bottom, and both of them are circles, right? So firstly, let me find the area of circle. Area of circle is given by pi r squared, which is, they say use the pi to be 3.142 times r squared, 2.1 squared. So 3.142 times 2.1 squared, give me a long number, 8622. Okay, so this is the area of the circle. Next, then I have remembered got top and bottom now, so later must times 2, okay? Then now the problem next is to find the curved surface area. How do I find this curved surface area? Remember, if we put our cream on the outer side, I actually need to put it at the circumference, right? So I'm using the circumference times the whole of my length over here. Okay, so the area of the sides will be taking the circumference. Circumference is pi d times the height, or some of you will prefer 2 pi r times the height, also can, no problem. But since I know the diameter, so I'll just use 4.2. Pi is 3.142, diameter 4.2, times the height 16.2403. And that gives me 214.31. Is it correct? 3.142 times 4.2 times 16.2403. Okay, so then I'm going to find my total. Remember, my total have top and bottom, right? So it's 13.856. I just write 5, copy 5 number, times 2 plus all the sides. And that gives me the area 214.31 plus 13.856 times 2. 242.022, rounding it off to 42 cm square for 3 significant figure. Have you gotten the answer? Now, let us continue back into our next question. This one over here is already recorded in my topical revision practice 4. Please go and watch the video in detail, okay, to refresh all the whatever that you need to learn. Right, next one. Then I'll come back here to next question. This question over here. Right, in this part of the question, right, the question before this, let me clean. Okay, the question before this one is in chapter 12 notes part 1. I already went through it in class, so you can check out the answers in class, okay? Then this one will be exercise 5, so I shall do this. Now, given that the area of a triangle is given by half times base times height, right? Then they want to find the perpendicular distance. So perpendicular distance means must have 90 degrees, correct? Okay, from A to DC. Alamak, how to draw from A to DC? If I draw it this way, this is not perpendicular. It's not 90 degrees. So I need to draw it straight down with a 90 degree. Until what? Until D to DC extended. D joined to C extended. Right? So in this case, I will have a 90 degree here, and they want me to find this distance over here. Let me call this the H, the height. If this is my height, where is my base? This is my height, my base is only DC. The extended portion, there is no triangle, right? So you cannot include the length over there, right? So it's just BC only. So what information do we know? We already know area is 28. We will plug in area to be 28. Half times the base is now 7, and the height will be the unknown. So to undo this, I can multiply by 2, divide by 7. Or you can take 28, divide by half, divide by 7. It's still the same answer. So therefore, height equals to 28 times 2, divide by 7. And that gives me 8 cm. Right, so the perpendicular distance cm. Have you gotten the concept? Next question, let me roll backwards again. Now, these two questions here, they are the same type regarding parallelogram. I've already went through this during our paper 1 revision question. So this is in your notes, chapter 12, part 2. So in order to do a quick one, so I shall go through the one in notes instead, right? Because the other question I already went through it during the previous remedial when we did paper 1. Right, so now let's take a look at this question. Now, first part of the question says, dx and by are altitudes of the parallelogram. What is the meaning of the word altitude? Altitude actually means height. All right, the perpendicular height, the height of the parallelogram. So you have dx and by. So firstly, let's look at different measurements. AB is 6 cm. So AB is here. Now if AB is base, I'll need a pair of perpendicular height. But before that, let me recall a little bit, forgot to say, area of parallelogram is given by, very similar to area of rectangle. So area of rectangle is length times breadth, right? But area of parallelogram will be base times the perpendicular height. Okay, so for any pair of area, to find area, you need a pair of base and perpendicular height. So in this case, if I have AB as my base, my perpendicular height will be dx. Next, I have another length. AD is 8 cm. I forgot to write 6 cm here just now. AD is 8 cm, so this whole thing is 8 cm, and I need a pair of height for the base. That base will be, the height will be by. Okay, and they tell you dx is 12 cm, so dx is 12 cm. Right? Find the area of the parallelogram. Which pair of base and height do we have numbers available to help us to find the area of the parallelogram? We use the blue or the green one. So we use the green one because got 6 and 12, right? So area of parallelogram will be 6 times 12, which gives you 72 cm squared. Okay, now I want to find the length of by, right? So I need to use my area. So I already know previously, area of my parallelogram equals to base times height. Correct. So my area of parallelogram, we found it to be number 72. Let's use this. And now I want to find BY. If I want to find BY, that's a blue color. So I need to use which base? I should use the blue one, right? The blue base, which is 8 cm over here, times a height that I want to find, which is the BY. So in this case, to find BY, I divide by 8, and to give me the answer, 9 cm. Have you gotten the concept? Okay, so for this one, you just find the different, match the different base and the different height. Okay, next question. Now, previous question, I think I missed out on this one as well. So let me go through this question again. Okay, now let's come back to question number 4. Two regular hexagon. Previously, in the previous part, we are talking about polygons, right? We have a certain formula to find the interior angles. Now, this is a hexagon. Hexagon X, right? 6, right? So n is equals to 6. Right, there are 6 sides and it's regular, so you can divide it equally among the different sides, so 6 sides. So in this case, to find the interior angle, I want to find the value for x over here, which is one interior angle. So x will be equals to n minus 2, which is 6 minus 2 times 180 to get my total, but I want to find one of it, so I divide it across the 6 equally among the 6. And that will give me the angle 120 degrees. So if that's the case, this means this angle is 120, and it's a regular hexagon. So this is 120. This is also 120, 120, 120, 120. And similarly, we say there are two regular hexagons. So this one is also 120, 120, 120, 120, so on and so forth. All the angles are the same. All right, so now the question comes to the next part to find the value for y. Where is angle y? Angle y is down here, right? And we're going to look at this triangle. Now, somebody said just now about regular hexagon, regular polygons. What can you say know about the length of the sides? When it's regular, the length of the different sides, they are the same, they are equal to each other. So that means this makes it an isosceles triangle. If I know that this is an isosceles triangle, how do I find angle y? Okay, I take 180, the total triangle, 180 degree, minus 1 of the angle, which is 120, divide by 2, base angles of isosceles triangle. And that will give me 30 degrees. So this one over here is 30 degrees. Okay. Then now next one, I want to find the value for z. Z is down here, this portion. I noticed that I got 120 over here. I got another 120. I'm left with the blue color. The whole thing, all these three angles add up to 360 degrees. So for letter Z, I take 360 minus 120 minus 120, angles at a point. And that will give me the answer 120 as well. All right. So with that, I come to the end of this part of our video. Right. I'll see you for the next session at 7 p.m. Right. Bye.